I grew up on the edge of Pine Ridge, Colorado, where the lake wasn't just water. It was a childhood cathedral. Mornings smelled of pine needles and coffee from my thermos. Evenings echoed with loons calling across glassy waves. My grandfather built a cabin here in 1962, modest, sturdy, and perched on 3 acres where deer outnumbered neighbors. For decades, this shoreline was ours, a place to swim, fish, and breathe without interruption. It was my sanctuary, my church, my anchor in a world that often demanded too much. Life was simple. I worked union electrical, callous hands fixing real problems for real people. After my divorce, the cabin became my entire net worth, my sacred routine untouched. Wake up at 5:30, grab coffee strong enough to wake the dead, then shuffle down the gravel path to the lake for laps before the rest of the world intruded. I loved the solitude, the quiet clinking of paddles in water, the morning mist rising over the lake. It was predictable, safe, and mine. Little did I know, the peace I treasured was about to be challenged by the kind of entitlement only an HOA president like Brenda Whitmore could manufacture. One weekend, I returned from a supply run to see tents, tables, and designer chairs spilling across my family's shoreline. The smell of grilled steak mixed with panic as Brenda, a fake blonde HOA tyrant, strutted about boasting how she had finally solved the riff-raff problem. 40 elites sipped sparkling drinks, laughing, oblivious of the fact that they were trespassing. I walked up casually, papers in hand, proving I now owned the entire lake. The murmurs died instantly. Event fee, $250, I announced, voice calm but firm, plus $50 per guest. The lake is under new management. Silence fell heavier than the mountain pines. Brenda shrieked, calling it extortion, while her guests scrambled for their cars like roaches when the lights flip on. Coolers tumbled, kids cried, and BMW tires squealed on gravel. 6 months of harassment, 17 bogus complaints, all designed to destroy my electrician's license, had led to this moment. I watched as the entitlement melted into chaos, the barbecue turning into a spectacle of panic and confusion. Brenda's face was red, her clipboard useless in her trembling hands. I stood there, calm, knowing every paper I held was law, every signature legitimate. Revenge was lakeside, swift and poetic. The guests peeled away, muttering apologies and disbelief, while Brenda's screams echoed across the water like a warning to anyone who thought they could steal what wasn't theirs. I leaned against my cabin, coffee in hand, smelling pine and victory. The lake had been ours for generations, and now belonged entirely to me. Every ripple a reminder that some battles are best fought quietly until the moment comes to strike. By sunset, the water was still again, deer grazing at the edges, and the echoes of entitlement replaced with quiet respect. Brenda Whitmore would never forget who actually owned the shoreline, and I had regained not just property, but peace. The cabin, the lake, the misty mornings, all returned to their rightful rhythm, undisturbed, a sanctuary preserved, and a lesson delivered with calm certainty.